South Florida's Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is opening up its catwalk for a night of high fashion and fundraising. And here's Dr. Joseph Rosenblatt with more. Dr. Rosenblatt, so great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Oh, great to be here, Dave.
So we're going to talk about this event, but first, by way of background, tell us a little bit about where you work.
Well, I work at the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami. We are a center that has over 250 faculty from 19 different departments, multiple disciplines, and all working together to try to make real advances in basic science, translational research, and the prevention and cure of cancer.
And just from doing some research, I read that you all treat some of the most complex and challenging cancer cases in the region. So it must be a pretty overwhelming experience for you to be there, I would imagine.
Well, actually, it's a real privilege to work there. We work with a lot of very bright and dedicated individuals. We see probably 400 different types of cancer, including some of the rarest and some of the most challenging cancers that we face. We're a tertiary cancer center in which multiple faculty, individuals, doctors, physicians, radiation oncologists, surgeons, and medical oncologists put their talents together in an effort to make a difference in patients' lives.
And are any of these surgeons and physicians also supermodels by any chance? Any runway models in the bunch, including yourself?
I have very limited experience in modeling, mostly from several affairs like the one we're going to talk about. I like to think that I'm a lot better at medicine than I am at modeling. There are other members of our faculty that I think would probably be reasonably classified as very attractive and may do better at it than myself.
Well, the good news is if somebody falls while walking on the runway, you're there to mend an ankle or whatever the case may be.
An oncologist mending an ankle could be a fairly precarious situation, but there may be orthopedists in the audience, and we do have excellent orthopedic oncologists who could probably do a good job.
Good to know. All right. So the event we're talking about is Designed for a Cure. It's the third event of its kind. It's fun. I mean, what a cool thing that you're doing here for a great cause. Tell us about it.
Well, it is a cool thing, and the coolest part about it is that we'll have some of our physicians who actually take care of cancer and are very dedicated actually walking down the runway with their patients, who will in fact be the models modeling all of this wonderful fashion wear that's going
from Oscar de la Renta, right?
Yeah, it is Oscar de la Renta, and we have to thank Oscar for being so forthcoming and so dedicated to us that he's willing to have our patients model his wonderful clothing.
Yeah, although you and I just found out, because neither of us knew this a few minutes ago, that apparently Oscar de la Renta does not make men's clothing. Shows you how little we know about the high fashion world.
I was disappointed to find out that I would not be wearing Oscar de la Renta clothing, but I think it's probably in Oscar's best interest that I not do that. But I'm sure our women will look wonderful. Our men will be modeling fashion items that have been brought to the event by Saks.
Okay, so everybody's going to look great. You are going to be rocking the white coat. What's your wardrobe going to be?
If it's like the event has been in prior years, I may actually be wearing some men's clothing, but underneath a white coat.
I want to go back to something we already talked about, but I think it's so really neat and special and amazing, so I want to spend a little more time on it. So cancer patients, right, and their physicians will be walking down the runway wearing the Oscar de la Renta clothing, right? Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah, no, it's going to be outstanding. I'm going to be walking down with a patient of mine who had a very challenging type of lymphoma, in whom and has actually survived a very intensive therapy, and is alive several years later and has gone back to work in a normal life. And so I think that's a special treat, to be able to walk down with your patient, somebody that you've actually taken from the initial shock of having to deal with the cancer, and and shepherd it through the whole process of treatment, which can be very complex, and finally to be able to walk down with that individual who is now cured of their cancer, or at least in a remission.
Wow, that's incredible. That's amazing. I mean, good for you, good for them. What a fantastic event it's going to be. All right, so as we mentioned, sold out, but people can still donate, right? For sure. How do they do that?
So it is sold out, but if you go to www.sylvester.org, there will be the opportunity to contribute to Sylvester, and we will do our best to put the money to excellent use.
I wonder if there's a ticket scalping situation going on outside.
That I'm not aware of. I'm thankful that I'm invited to the event, because I guess I'm walking down, but it should be quite the event, and if it's that popular, then I certainly will be very happy as a member of the Sylvester faculty.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. I hope it's an incredible event and you get a great turnout and raise a ton of money. Thanks so much, Doctor, for coming on the show.
And thank you for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenblatt. When we come back, a South Florida author dishes the dirt on a book she wrote about what women truly desire from men. Stick around.